Yeah, this is what I was kind of thinking about. So what you saw on the video is this stuff here. These are some 1-inch wide aluminum brackets that I just put in a vise and I bent them because I need to start thinking about mounting this on the table so I can start making some parts. So they're kind of crude, but like I said, I just put them in a vise and just started bending them, and actually a couple of them broke right here at the bend because this is a T6 and it's not really made for bending. You need a little softer material, but I got it to bend. It's only a little 45. But what I was thinking, was trying to show in the video, is that the spacing on the ways of the table that I'm going to use is about, I think it was 5 inches. So it's something like that. And there was a 5/8 piece in the way, like you put in the slot, 5/8 diameter to bank against something. So I had a 5/8 block, and then I put some shims on the side. They were 187 on each side. But I plan on using this piece. This is one. I'm getting the rest of them welded now. But this is going to mount the ways are going this way. So this is going to mount between there. And then the bolt, use one bolt or two and a little T-nut underneath, and that clamps it inside the T-nut's inside the way, and then this goes in and captures it. But yeah, it's going to be, let me move this to the edge here. It's going to be inside like that, and that's going to capture that. And that's going to be at the bottom, the base, where the machine base is. And then up here at the top, the frame is about 2 inches. So that's about going to be about a 2-inch gap up there, and then these holes are going to go through the frame and going to clamp it together. That's going to be on each side. Now the reason I'm spreading this apart, because the unit itself from here to over here is about 10 inches wide, and the table isn't that wide, so I have to have these mounted on the table, and then the unit fits inside here above the table. Now I know that I can put spacers or something underneath it and this and that, but I really didn't want to go that route. And I'm sure, you know, I was going to mount it lengthwise. You know, you can mount it sideways or a lot of different ways, but I want to mount it lengthwise. And these pieces are going to go on one end. And I got another set of pieces that go on the other end. And the thing is that, let me put you up here. The you know, these pieces are going to mount on one end, and I need, you know, if I mount these on the other end, the unit will have a tendency to move back and forth. So what I did was I took these two pieces and I made them a lot wider to give it a little stability so it wouldn't move back and forth. And I didn't make it out of aluminum because it was too big. And these aluminum pieces it was just a test piece. I wanted to make them out of steel. And I thought about 1/4 inch, which is pretty much standard, but I looked, you know, I think that's a little too beefy. So I made them out of 1/8 inch. And I had them laser cut, and they look like this. This is just some 1/8 steel. And these holes they're for this Delron piece that helps stabilize it, because when you have this like this, it's going to want to flex. So I'm putting this piece in the middle to keep these two pieces from flexing. I mean, it's gonna be bolted here, but up here they're still gonna want to flex, because the unit is, I mean, it's got a little bit of weight to it. So I'm trying to eliminate the flex, so I got this Delron piece that I'm going to bolt in there, and that's going to keep it from flexing, at least I hope. So this piece is going to mount down here on the table, and then this piece up here is going to capture the frame, the 2-inch square tubing frame. And there's going to be one on each side. On one end. Here's the other one. So they're going to go like that, well, with a 5-inch spacing. And they're going to capture the frame here. Then on the other end, like I said, I didn't want to do this again because it'll tend to rotate, because all you have is this one bolt here and this other bolt here on both sides. So I made it wider. It's kind of like putting two of these together. Now this would be one side of it, putting two of these together, because I didn't want it to go like that. So I made a solid piece to go in here, and I had it laser cut. And I just bent this myself. You know, I look at the Harbor Freight 12-ton press, It was like 150 bucks or something, 160. And I thought, well, we got a little press at work. So I thought, well, I'll give it a shot, try to bend that. I could have it professionally bent, but this is a still kind of experimental. So I just put it in a little V channel and put a little angle. I used aluminum angle and put a plate on top, and it bent pretty good. This, I mean, like I said, this is only 1/8 inch thick steel, so I had this material look like that, just a piece of aluminum. I don't remember how wide it was. It was about that wide. So then I took a piece of angle and I just used it in the middle. I know that's not in the middle, but put it in the middle, and then I just put a plate across the top of it, and then had the ram come down, and I just kind of put a little mark on it and eyeballed it. Anyway, I thought that this might spread apart, but it didn't, because you're not pushing on a lot here. So that worked out pretty good. I mean, I just threw it together and wanted to try it, and if it worked, I could always have it professionally bent. But I'm just trying to make it work with what I got. So the piece that I have on the other end, it looks like this. This is the same thing as this, just wider. I have this connecting it. This is the same thing here and here. If you put this down like this, it's the same exact pattern. Well, it's supposed to be, but it didn't bend right. I didn't know. I don't do much bending. I mean, I do simple stuff like that, stick it in a vise and bend it. But I thought by relieving it with these circles, I've still given it a lot of the strength, because I didn't want it to flex. But when I put these circles in here, the bends, they went all weird. And really having a lot of trouble trying to get this thing. I had to put it back in a vise, and I tried to bend this one and that one, and I got to go back and bend them both at the same time, and they're just I didn't know. If I had what I know now, is that what I would have done or should have done, well, I still might do it, is that these pieces here, I should have just made them straight. Is what I should have done. And I should have bent them here, and that would be the same thing as these, and these came out good. Can you see that? Should have bent them here. That would have worked out a lot better than the circles I put in there. But I didn't know, you know, I'm not a sheet metal person, so just giving you a heads up that if you do something like this, you're going to have problems. But anyway, I'm going to try to make it work. And if it doesn't look like it's going to work, I'm just going to go ahead and have these made. I mean, you know, having these lasered out, it wasn't much. I didn't get the bill for it yet, but I don't think it's much. But anyway, that's where I am now. I got to try to fix these up. I got to get them to where they're, you know, they're straight and they're at the same angle with each other. But these circles really messed up the bend on them. I don't know if you can see it. But, you know, you try it, see if it works, make it better. But anyway, that's the plan, is to have a set here, then in the back have a thicker set, got 2 mounting holes in the back on each one, and there's 1 mounting hole in the front, and that'll stabilize it from moving back and forth. Hopefully that's the plan. And then these pieces here, they get mounted on the table, so there's going to be 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 here, and 1 here. And I'm thinking about mounting 1 in the middle and having some type of T-looking thing on this side. I don't need one on this side because these are thick enough to where it's going to keep it from moving back and forth. But the ones in the front, you know, you only got the 1 bolt in the back, you know, the 1 bolt holding it, and it would want to move back and forth. So I'm thinking about having a piece in the middle, and that's what these holes are here, is when this is mounted, there's going to be a plate across here, and that's going to stabilize that from moving back and forth and from to the side too. So we're trying to build this up with pieces instead of taking a solid piece and cutting it. Now, like I said before, you know, I could put blocks under it, this and that, but then you gotta clamp it down, and the problem is that, you know, when you clamp it down, the width of the table is not as wide as the part or the frame. You know, the frame is out here and the width of the table is here, so the only other way is you have to turn the unit and then you clamp it down. But this unit isn't actually made for the Bridgeport. It's made for I'm making it for a different machine that I'll have to work on later, but it wasn't designed for this, but it should work. I mean, I'm going to make it work. But it was actually designed for a different machine. So we're going to keep moving along on this, because it doesn't do any good to build the unit if you can't mount it on the machine and make it do something. So that's what we're going to do. All right. that's it on that. I'll give you a update later on. But that's the plan. Okay, bye.